If you're just getting started, where do you actually find the best multifamily deals? There's deals all over the place, literally everywhere across the entire country, but how in the world do you know if it's a good deal or a bad deal? There's on market, and then you have the off market deals. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down both of them, and if you stay till the end, I'm going to be giving you the real inside secrets of how we've been able to acquire over $65 million over the last couple years, where the deals that we closed on were deals that nobody else even knew about. Now, before we get into off-market, it's really important to understand the difference between inbound opportunities and outbound opportunities. What an outbound opportunity is you are picking up the phone or you are going to a website and you are searching for deals, whether this is online or you're going out and like calling sellers. That is you making the effort to try to find the opportunity. And then the exact opposite, inbound, is anything that comes into you. So it could be a broker calling you, or it could be a wholesaler calling you. Whatever it is, it means that that lead or that potential property is coming to you versus you going to it. And that's really important to understand when trying to build your pipeline. And I can tell you right off the bat, the best way to position yourself most of the time is for the deal flow to actually be coming to you. So like for us, all of the deals that we bought generally are inbound deals that either brokers are calling us on or wholesalers are bringing to us because we're positioned as the end investor, somebody who can actually close the deal. At the very beginning, you might have to start with the outbound approach to find the first couple and then break into the business. But as you get in and as you grow, you want to position yourself as the person that people can reach out to whenever they have a great opportunity. That is how you buy back a tremendous amount of your time. Now let's go into off-market versus on-market. Let's start with off-market. I'll just say that in multifamily real estate investing, not every single deal has to be off-market for it to be a home run. Oftentimes that's associated with the single family home world because most of the time stuff that's on market is overpriced. But just to give you a perfect example, the last 3 deals that we have bought have all been on market, but they're still great deals. So whenever you step in the multifamily, it does not have to be off market. If it is, it could be a great one, or there could be a double-edged sword to it, and it's actually a deal you want to avoid. So now going into the ways that you actually find deals that are off market. This is not publicly listed. There's different approaches. You have the inbound method and then you have the outbound method. The outbound is you can use free resources like LandGlide, I believe, has a free trial. It's like an app where you can look up the land parcels and it gives you the public information of who owns it. And then you can take that information, use True People Search and go find the person that owns it, their phone number, and call them. That is a free resource where it's not a lot of money goes into it, but a tremendous amount of time goes into scraping all of this data. So you have off-market deals where you are actually going and you are picking up the phone and you're calling these owners that own these buildings and you're trying to create relationships with them to see if they're interested in selling. Now, unless you're a wholesaler already, I would not recommend starting here because it takes the most amount of time. And most of the time you have to go through thousands and thousands and thousands of calls or messages before you actually get that one that's serious about selling. So if you're not already wholesaling, I would skip this, to be completely honest with you. And then we have paid resources. This is resources like CoStar, Reonomy, Crexi, and you pay money for all of the most important information that you need, like seller name, property address, property phone number, and how you can actually get in contact with that owner. Instead of taking all the time to try to scrape it together, the information is just right in front of you. You can send out mass mailers, you can call people, and it's a lot easier. So you're paying to save a bunch of time. And again, same thing here. I think both of these are considered outbound methods where you are the person that's trading time, energy, and sometimes money to produce these opportunities. Outbound, off-market deals. For example, a lot of the people that join our community join for the purpose because we pay for these resources already. You can plug in with us. We'll provide you a list of all the owners in a zip code, all the contact information and everything. And one of the last ones I'll touch on the off-market approach, which is the inbound method. I'm a really big fan of inbound. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to go out and find the deals if I can just get the deals brought to me. This is where I would start first instead of going outbound, which is wholesalers. Again, you can do this in both ways. Free Facebook groups. You can literally go type in multifamily real estate groups on Facebook. There's a ton of Facebook groups out there that have wholesalers that are inside of it that are doing the hard work, picking up the phone, calling, sending mailers, doing all that. and you can position yourself as the end investor. I'm an investor that's looking for off-market opportunities. You make an introduction post inside that group, and then you have wholesalers that reach out to you and say, hey, this is your buy box. I think I have an opportunity that matches that. Are you interested in looking at it? Again, from a time standpoint, I think this is the best thing that you can do early on. If you want to use your time wisely, this is what I've done. We've personally found a lot of off-market opportunities this way, and I don't have to put in a ton of time, energy, or effort trying to go out and talk to sellers. I just get the best deal sent to me. So that's off market. Now moving into the on market approach. Again, every single deal that's listed on market, everybody gets to see it. That's publicly listed. That's the reason brokers list these properties on market. The number one way that you're going to find on market opportunities is through broker relationships. And I know this can be scary at the beginning, but most of the time it leads to having a relationship with the broker. Trust me, they're just regular, normal human beings that want to make a bunch of money selling multifamily deals. And how you start these relationships is by going to publicly listed websites like Crexy.com, LoopNet, Zillow, even for smaller multifamily deals. You go to these sites, you go to your city, and you filter by multifamily and for sale. And like right there, I'm willing to bet you probably have over 100 multifamily properties for sale within 1 to 2 hour radius behind you right now. And this is something that we're checking on a daily basis. So we filter by new listings and we're looking at it constantly. What new properties are being listed on these public websites? That way we can see it as soon as it comes out, and then as soon as it comes out, we start reaching out to the broker. And through this, you develop a relationship with these brokers, you submit a couple of offers, and you build on top of that relationship. So that way, every time something comes out, maybe you actually know about it beforehand versus having to wait to see it. Now, I will say the best place to start is Crexy.com. This is the official Zillow for commercial real estate investing. You can look at a ton of different asset classes. For us, we look at multifamily, specifically in Florida. Now, another spot that you're going to want to check is broker websites. So sometimes the bigger that you get, generally the more hidden it becomes because the buyer pool is such a small buyer pool in general. For example, CBRE, MarcusandMillichap.com, Berkadia, JLL, Cushman and Wakefield. Maybe I'll put up a list of the top national brokerage that have their own website and they use their website to be listing everything. Sometimes they'll list it on both this website and Crexy, but I found oftentimes that they'll only have it listed on their website and sending out emails to their list, and that's it. So if I'm just getting started in the business, I'm going to go to my local area. I'm going to go to Crexy.com just to start. Look at all of the properties for sale, and then you'll notice a theme. The same broker or the same brokerage, the company that's selling it, I would go directly to their website. I would subscribe to their email list. That way, every time they have an update on a property or a new listing, they immediately send out an email first before they list it on Crexy.com. That way, on a daily basis, I have emails coming in from brokers. That's an inbound lead to me. And then I'm also going and spending some time on Crexy.com, looking at all of the new properties that are coming out on a daily basis. And I'll wrap it up with this. The number one thing that we have done as investors in today's environment is looking at on-market properties, because sellers are generally smart. They don't want to sell it for below market. They want as many eyeballs on it as possible. It goes on market, and then the market actually speaks. Let's say a seller wants $10 million for their property, and the market says it's worth $8. So I would submit an offer the first time, we'd be $2 million less. And then after the market has spoke, if they have to sell, if there's enough motivation for them to sell the property, they're going to pick the best buyer out of all of them at the reduced price. We bought a brand new property, 2023 build. They wanted $28 million. The market spoke at 24. They ended up taking the property off the market, tried to do a refinance, and it didn't work out. So they ended up calling us 6 months later because we submitted the first time and we hung around the rim, and then we ended up closing that deal. Same thing happened with our last two acquisitions. They brought it out to the market spoke, and then we were the best buyer at our price because, again, they have to sell. That is what you want to look for, motivation behind why they are selling. Now, if you're still with me and you want to make this extremely easy, again, you don't want to go going outbound and calling sellers. You just want properties and opportunities brought to you. I would recommend joining our community called the Deal Room. Wholesalers and brokers, both themselves, inside the community, actively presenting off and on market opportunities to all of the investors inside. So it's like the easiest way to skip all of the BS and save a tremendous amount of time. All you got to do is check out the links in the description to get access to that. And hopefully you found value throughout today's video. And you know that you've done this right when you have both wholesalers bringing opportunities to you, and you're looking at Crexy on a daily basis, and you have emails coming in on a weekly basis saying new opportunities just listed. That is the way for you to actually find opportunities and keep a full pipeline. So with that being said, if you found value in today's video, make sure you drop a like, comment below questions you have or what you want to see on next video. And most importantly, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.